Today we're looking at 5 expensive Sonic Team games. Let's see how we get on. Hi, welcome to the show. I did a video similar to this about a year ago, but when I look back on it, I wasn't really happy with it because I didn't really explain a lot about the games and it wasn't really edited and it was a bit long-winded. So I thought I'm going to give this another shot. So this is the second part in a series of looking at Sonic Team games that are really expensive or probably not worth the money that they cost. Let's see how we get on. The first game is Puyo Puyo Fever for the Dreamcast. Now, I was very lucky many moons ago to get a nice sealed copy of this, which I won't take out of its nice protective box. But Puyo Puyo Fever is a game that most people, if they are familiar with it, will probably know, like the GameCube, the PS2, or the Xbox version, or even a Game Boy Advance version. Why is this game so expensive? Well, it was the very last Sonic Team game released on the Dreamcast back in 2004. Yes, they were still releasing Dreamcast games in Japan in 2004, and this was the very last officially released proper Sega game, so the one that they developed themselves. So there was other Dreamcast games that came out after this one, but this was the last one that Sega themselves, or in this case Sonic Team, put together. So it's very expensive. They didn't make many of these. I'm a massive fan of block puzzle games, you know, like your Tetrises, all those sorts of ones. And Puyo Puyo, I was introduced to it back 1992 with Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, but ever since then I'm falling in love with Puyo Puyo. It's absolutely brilliant. So to have this on the Dreamcast is brilliant. Obviously this one's sealed, so I can't play this copy, but I have burned a copy to play on my Dreamcast, and that's the footage we're looking at now. So what does it cost though if we're going to buy this today? I mean, I'm not going to look at a sealed copy because I've never seen another one come up, but just trying to find one of these for sale, I was really struggling. I would say if you got this for under £100, you'd be doing well. And that seems expensive for like a puzzle game. But when you actually look at the amount of sold listings for this game, there hardly isn't any. And because it was a Japan exclusive and it was one of the very last games that was released on the Dreamcast, it's not exactly something that they were pumping millions of copies out of. So Puyo Puyo Fever on the Dreamcast, about £100. So I decided when I was putting this video together that I would do the 5 games in order of how much they will probably be costing you. So the next game, that's the fourth expensive. No, it doesn't make sense, does it? But the next game is Ristar, and the Genesis version, so the one from the good old North American market. But I was surprised when I was looking at how much this version is now costing. Again, you know, I bought this many moons ago when it was probably a lot more worth it. But I've seen the last couple of these sold on eBay, complete in box, have gone skywards of £120. I think one sold for about 140 recently. That looked like a really nice copy though. The actual gameplay itself, it might not be for everyone. It's a bit fiddly where you've got to do this stuff with your arms and stuff. But if you really like sort of Sonic Team games, you can really see where this one's come from the minds of those creators there. This was actually the first Sonic Team game that didn't involve a Sonic character. So I love this game. I'm a huge Ristar fan. I think the graphics and the music and everything about it, and it's just so playable. It's got really cool bosses. There's a few bits in here that let it down to make it like an absolute classic. But I think you can just see, look at the pose that he's taking in the shot there. Like he just looks like Sonic, you know. And the original design for Ristar, he had Sonic shoes on because this uses the Sonic 1 game engine. They recycled the game engine from Sonic 1 and added lots of stuff into it. But cracking game. But yes, to get the American version complete in box, you're probably looking at about £120, £130. So we're on to the middle of the games now. So this is the third game. So the one in the middle of the bunch, the price wise, and that is Burning Rangers on the Sega Saturn. Our classic Sonic Team game, a really bizarre game. You're futuristic firefighters rescuing people and putting out fires up. If you like 3D platform games with a little bit of action in it, and you haven't played Burning Rangers, you really need to. It's an awesome game. It's quite short. There's only about 4 or 5 levels on it, but it's absolutely. I've actually think it's a little bit of a masterpiece, and it came out so late in the Saturn's life cycle that it's a bit like that Panzer Dragoon Saga game. Not that many people have sort of played it or completed it. But what are we talking about in terms of price? I thought the game was about an £80–90 game, which is obviously a lot of money. Oh my god, when I looked at the sold listings for this the last few months, oh my god, there was one that went for about 180. think one went for about 190. The average price was about £150. Is it worth it? I mean, I would say it is because I think it's one of the Saturn's best games. But I'm obviously biased because I'm a huge Sonic Team fan. But it is a genuinely great game that a lot of people probably haven't sat through and completed. You know, I wouldn't really advocate piracy or anything, but maybe if you've got a Sega Saturn that can play copied games, if you've got the right hardware for that, I'll let you Google all that. Yeah, maybe it's worth doing that first to see if you like it. But yeah, I would say out of all the games today that I have to show that are expensive, this is probably the one that is actually like probably worth the money, just because it is such a cracking game. Now, so the penultimate game on our list of expensive games is Knuckles Chaotix. The NTSJ, or the Japanese version. Now, in Japan, it wasn't called Knuckles Chaotix, it was just called Chaotix, because they really were showcasing the other members of the Chaotix crew, it's called. Charmy Bee, Vector, Mighty, obviously Knuckles, and Espio the Chameleon. Now, Mighty, in the middle there, one of my favourite Sonic characters. He was originally in the Sega Sonic arcade game, and then joined the Chaotix crew, and astute Sonic players will know that he's obviously been in the update to Sonic Mania in Sonic Mania Plus as a great playable character there. So why is this game so expensive then? I mean, price wise, I couldn't even price this, and I'll tell you why. There wasn't any sold listings on eBay or anywhere else I looked. I looked at a few sites I know, a few Japanese Yahoo auctions and things as well. I couldn't really find one that had been sold. I mean, I again didn't think it was a stupidly expensive computer game. I thought it was about £60–70. Oh no. I mean, the fact that none of these have been sold within the last 6 months, I think it's starting to creep up. I don't know what the price would be. That's why I put it as my fourth one, because while Burning Rangers was about £150, I'd say that, you know, this would probably go for more now, knowing how much Mega Drive 32X games in Japan do sometimes go for. Is the game worth it though? Would you pay over £150 for this? I don't think I would now. Well, I would because I collect Sonic, but if I was just a casual games player, this is not worth it. The game itself is a bit of a bizarre mix. It was based on a prototype called Sonic Crackers that was going to be on the original Mega Drive, but then they ended up developing Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, etc. But they recycled the idea to make Knuckles his own game, because Knuckles is his own game, so I'm really excited about it, because Knuckles is my favourite character, of course. But I don't think this is worth the money. The game itself is a very strange game. It's very repetitive in places, but it has lovely graphics and really good music. It's a bit like the Rice Star game. Like, if you get into it and you like the style of Sonic Team graphics and sound and all that sort of stuff, you'll love it. But if you're just a casual player who likes platform games and you give this one a go, you'll probably be like, oh, this game's really weird. And it's got this bizarre mechanic where, like, you're kind of combined with another person and you've got to do these little weird maneuvers and things. So I like it because it's a Knuckles game and it's a Sonic Team game, but is it actually that good? No, I don't think it's worth the money. A really expensive game. I was just shocked. I was absolutely shocked how much this one costs now. So we're on to the last game. What could it be? This next game, and the most expensive in this collection for this video, is actually one of my prized possessions. It's one of the crown jewels of the collection, if that's the right phrase. One it took me a long time to track down, and was one of the final pieces to complete my Sonic mountain. It is Sonic Blast on the Game Gear. Now, this is expensive just for rarity reasons. The game itself is pretty average. Do you know what though? It's a really weird game, and we'll see from the footage. You can see that they were trying to do this weird 3D look to it, almost like digitized sprites. It just didn't really work for me in terms of how it looked. The music's quite good for a Game Gear, but as a Game Gear game, actually, it's pretty decent. Not the best Sonic game on the Game Gear, though, by a country mile. Now, why is this so expensive? Well, it was one of the last games released on the Game Gear, but this is just a really rare game. Any Game Gear collectors will know this is one of the ones that, you know, if you found this game in nice condition, in decent condition, for less than £500, you are doing really, really well. This game is very expensive. I only bought it because it was to finish off a collection. I definitely don't advocate spending that kind of money on a video game. Do I regret buying it? Sometimes I think about what I'm doing with my life, but it was one of the final two pieces to complete my Sonic collection, and you know, it was worth doing because I've had so many bargains with my Sonic collection that I thought, well, buying a really stupidly overpriced game kind of negates all the savings I've had, so you know, I'm kind of winning still a little bit. But yes, so that's the final game. The game itself, not very good. Is it worth the money? Definitely not. Only those who want to collect either a Game Gear full set or are looking to collect all the Sonic games on the Game Gear or whatever your collection is should ever bother hunting this out. I couldn't find any sold listings, but I just know through some friends and private sales how much these have gone for over the last year or two. So that's it. So that was 5 more expensive Sonic Team games. If you want to see the first video of these I did, you can check that out. It's linked below. But I've been Retro Faith. Thanks for watching. And as always, keep it retro.